He was unbelievable when he got let down. Again, this is the second time that he's had that game versus Kansas City, and he gets let down. 2 years ago, he's let down with 13 seconds on the clock by the defense, and yesterday he's let down. The difference in that game comes down to both quarterbacks were great. Drops. Patrick Mahomes, guys, made plays down the field. Buffalo Bills guys didn't. That's just the truth. 3 different throws. Sherfield, one-on-one versus a perfect throw. 3rd and 15, I think. He launches it with the double move to Sherfield. Go make that catch. I know it's tough. Go make it. And then Stephon Diggs, who's a tremendous player. He's his bona fide. This ball goes 65 in the air. Perfect. This throw is an all-time throw. Yep. That is one of the best throws that we're ever going to get into the playoffs. That's the throw that you sit there and say, man, who do we draft for the Buffalo Bills? Hey, there's this big freakazoid. You know, when it's 20-mile-an-hour winds and 5 degrees, we got a dude who could throw 65 to go win the game. They didn't make the plays. That's the difference of the game. Josh was unbelievable. He was, at worst, the second best player on the field. And there's one play where I could sit there and say, give me more.
What are you looking for, Ryan?
The score of the game. I'm trying to figure out.
Score of the game went the other way.
I was trying to figure out who won because seemingly Josh Allen must have won with his 186 yards, but I don't see that.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Because that's the thing we do here is we get in here and we're just making excuses for Josh Allen all the time. Let's say it. Josh Allen is an absolute dog. Josh Allen is a freak at the position. He's doing things at the position that we've actually never seen.
Yeah.
And he's still losing. He's still at his house. We just saw a stat in the last hour, right, that along with Drew Brees, this is the most wins for a guy to not get to or win a Super Bowl. Where were all these excuses for Drew Brees? Because last I remember, Drew Brees was putting up better numbers than these. Right? Drew Brees was a 6-foot quarterback operating in the way that was getting a team to win that ain't had no defense. And we didn't sit up here every week and go, you know what? Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady, but Drew Brees' team just keeps letting him down. No, what's happening is, guess what? Josh Allen has played Patrick Mahomes in the regular season, right? As many times as he's played him in the playoffs, but he's beat him every time in the regular season. What's happened when all the cards been on the table? When Josh Allen has the football in his hands, for some reason, we get to come in here every time they meet in the playoffs and say, well, Josh didn't or Patrick did. That's what football comes down to. Football comes down to doing, not trying. Football comes down to the greatest moments, not the moments that add up on the stat sheet. Josh Allen had some plays last night that wowed you. What we needed him to do is not make the play that wowed, but the play that won. And he didn't do it. And it's okay to say that he didn't do it. It's okay to say that Joe Burrow walked on that field last year like Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards, right? And didn't need no help. He didn't need people to come save him from the bottom of that pile of humans because he did it.
Cincinnati ran for like
because he did it
last year.
Right? And they put him behind right away on a touchdown to Jamar Chase where he scrambles out the pocket and hits him.
All right, I love you like my brother. First of all, Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer.
Josh Allen will be a Hall of Famer.
Okay, so but we're
Drew Brees, do we talk about Drew Brees like we talk about Tom Brady?
No. But Drew Brees.
So why do we talk about Josh Allen like we talk about Patrick Mahomes?
One, the career's not over. The career is not over. 2, Drew Brees has earned a right to have a seat at the table. I don't care how many seats you want at the table. He has earned the right to have a seat at the table when it comes to all-time greats. I have said that for years. Second of all, yesterday's game against a defense that is top 3. Dude, Josh is 0-3 in the playoffs for Patrick Mahomes. In that run, in that 3, he's got 22 touchdowns and 1 turnover. It's ridiculous to sit here and say he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. The Bills can't. The Bills, and that's a credit to Patrick. Josh,
okay, so let's stop talking about him. Let's stop talking about him like they're the same then. Can we do that?
I can't, no, and I won't.
Well, hold on.
No,
I'm not sure anyone is talking about them like they're the same.
No, it's not.
Who is saying Patrick
That's all
Mahomes?
we ever do. The 2 best in the world. The 2 most talented in the world. It's about winning.
True. Because it's true. RC, yesterday against the defense in Kansas City, that was top 3. They had 27 first downs. That's the most anybody had against Kansas City this year. They didn't take a sack. No team had done that versus Kansas City.
So now he blocked for himself too.
Oh, my gosh.
Let me get Rex in. Rex has not. Rex.
I haven't said a word in this because I'm listening, and it's very interesting to me. I'm the guy that says they're the two best I've ever seen.
Right.
Two most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. All right? You look at who is Josh Allen? Well, he's got the second best touchdown to interception rate
in the history.
In the history of playoff football. He can't get it done in the playoffs. Wait a second. 21-4 is getting it done. And, oh, by the way, he's averaging 56 yards a game rushing.
Right.
Rushing. All right? Like, here's the thing. They're losing. They've had the last 4 playoff losses. Joe Burrow and 3 to Patrick Mahomes. That defense has given up 34 points.
Per game.
Per game. Yeah. 34 points. Now, look, I'm saying this. Like, these two are, in my opinion, absolutely incredible. And their careers are not over, all right? Because we could say the same thing. Peyton Manning never beat Tom Brady.
Right.
Oh, he ended up beating him.
Yeah.
Right? And then you also got Drew Brees. Did he win a Super Bowl? He did.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
Patrick.
John Elway. Same thing. We say the same thing. It's just, it's not done yet.
And he's losing to a guy that we're saying is arguably the most talented ever.
Top 2 right now.
Let me ask you a question, and this is out of dead respect. You were on great teams.
Yes.
Great teams. You won 1?
Yep.
How many do you think you should have won?
2 for sure.
Okay, so it's freaking hard,
2 for
right?
sure.
And you were on great teams. Buffalo is great. Josh Allen is the only quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Okay, so I have a question.
To account for 50 touchdowns in a season.
That's great,
and not get to the title game. He's done it twice.
Josh, you're big. We're on the goal line. Let's quarterback sneak it. Okay, that's great. Good job, Josh. So I think he's great. Let me be very clear to all the people. I think Josh Allen is amazing. I think he is ultimately talented. I think he's doing things with the football I've never seen done at that position. He's still not great. Guess what Patrick has done? He righted the ship. Josh Allen had a chance. It's fine to come in here and say that he played great, but he didn't do enough. Because that's the truth. He didn't do enough.
And that's where we disagree, because I do believe, I have told you this.
What's the score?
They lost. But they lost, and not because Josh didn't do enough. There's one play that we could point to and say, man, Josh, I would have loved for you to have made a different decision. There's so many other, a missed field goal, trying to get 2 free runners on Patrick Mahomes and get him to the ground, a bomb to a guy who's a 1 at wide receiver, a bomb to Sherfield, another bomb to Sherfield. Make one of those. Make one of those, and then we got a different conversation. There's no way that we could sit here, watch the same game that we did yesterday, and the takeaway be Josh didn't do enough.
It's not. See, there you go. Don't you do that. Don't you start playing word games, right?
Well, then
try to say like Josh not doing enough is me saying it's Josh's fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying Josh played well. Josh did his job. We don't make people all-time greats for doing their job. Hell, I did my job. I ain't Troy Polamalu. Because you know what? When it was time to beat the Baltimore Ravens in 2008, Troy got the pick. I blocked. There's a reason that people are looked at differently. I think Josh does a great job. That doesn't mean Josh has been great when his team has needed him to be great.
I have 2 questions for you, because I love your analogies. I'm going to give you 2 basketball analogies, okay? The LeBron James analogy, which I appreciate. Is LeBron James one of the greatest players of all time? Is the fact that he dragged a team whose second best player was Boobie Gibson to an NBA final a plus or a minus on the all-time ledger?
It's a plus to me.
Second, are Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, are those all-time great players?
Yeah, but they were with Michael Jordan.
They had the misfortune. That's the point. So Patrick Mahomes is going to wind up being the greatest player that ever lived. He is going to wind up being, it's going to be Brady and him. That's going to be the next generation's Michael and LeBron is going to be Brady and Mahomes. Mahomes is that good. We're going to debate which guy's actually the best of all time. And we're going to sit here and fight over which guy was the next closest to him. So Lamar Jackson is going to stake a claim, and Burrow is going to stake a claim, and Josh Allen, who is 27 years old, is going to stake a claim too.
And you know what, Greeny? You know I watched The Last Dance like I dang directed it, produced it, and cut the freaking film in the edit room,
you love it.
Right?
Yeah.
I love Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't do?
What?
Come in here and give Patrick Ewing excuses. You know what we did? We talked about Michael Jordan. You know what we didn't do when the Pistons walked off the court early, when they got swept? talk about Isaiah Thomas. We talked about Michael Jordan. When Charles Barkley was the MVP and they got to the finals and Michael Jordan went for 55, I think it was a game 5 or 6 or whatever it was.
Game 4.
What did we do?
It was game 4.
Game 4. What did we do? We talked about Michael Jordan. For some reason, we have the need, right? It is in our soul that it's burning. We have to come defend Josh Allen. Why? He played well. Let's talk about the dude that played better. Let's talk about the team that finished. But we can't because we got to go defend Josh Allen. Because he don't need defending.
Because it's in a way. Listen, Patrick was unbelievable. Patrick Mahomes, the best player in football. In the Kansas City Chiefs, it was their cleanest game. But when you watch a team that had the storyline and narrative around Buffalo this year, and a quarterback that I feel is almost like the Dallas Cowboys. You either love them or you love to hate them. And then you watch that game versus that defense yesterday in that environment end that way, you sit there going, that's not how it should be done.
Right.
In sports, when you play to a certain level, at some point, you get what you deserve. Josh Allen has not gotten what he deserves when it comes to his playoff performances. That's your point. That's the point that we're trying to make is like yesterday, when you watch that cat play ball, there's no way you sit there and say he deserves to be home today. 2 years ago, when you watch that dude go face to face with Patrick, you sit there and say, there's no way that dude deserves to be home, but he's home.
But you know
that's why.
Because you know what I say? Patrick Mahomes doesn't deserve to be home more.
Yeah.
That's why he's not.
But no one's debating that. Like
And Joe Burrow didn't deserve to be home more, and that's why he wasn't. But at some point, we have to start talking about the fact that these people keep beating him.
This is why I love you. Straight up, be honest with me. If I said to you yesterday morning, hey, Josh Allen's going to have 250 yards of offense. They're going to have 3 drives that go 75 yards or more. They're going to have 27 first downs, and they ain't going to turn the ball over. Who you taking?
It depends on what Patrick Mahomes does.
Yeah,
Like, you can't, like 250 yards against Patrick Mahomes.
Total offense.
It's supposed to make me go, woo! Patrick can't produce that.
RC,
Bro,
I
you
watch
act like
everybody at this network say, if Josh doesn't turn the ball over, the Bills will win.
Well, that's because I thought Josh would throw for more than 160 yards.
He did. He threw for 180. He had 250 yards of offense against the top 3 defense.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Guys, I get it.
I love you.
What's happening is this, right? I'm not going to be able to go to Niagara Falls one day on vacation.
No, you ain't allowed.
Oh, no, you're not.
All I'm
you're
saying
not.
is,
You can't have countdown there next year.
You better have a life vest.
I expect. Hey, listen, they ain't gonna treat me like Patrick Swayze at that summer camp when he's up there, bro. All I'm saying is this: I think Josh Allen is amazing.
He's a
Josh
beast.
Allen hasn't done what it's taken to get his team to the ultimate goal, and at some point, we have to be able to say that. We have to be able to say that this year, as it set up, was the year for him to beat Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't an Arrowhead. This wasn't the best Kansas City Chiefs offense. This was a team that was fit to be had, but he didn't get them.
That's fair.
No one is debating that Mahomes is the better player. Mahomes is the best player I've ever seen.
Question for you.
What I'm saying is, it didn't feel like Mahomes won it in that regard as much as it felt like the Bills lost it because they got what should be a chip shot field goal that ties the game, and then we see what happens, and instead the game is just over.
So that play is more important than McCole Hardman's fumble. Because if McCole Hardman doesn't fumble, they're up 10.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right? Like that's the game.
Right.
Bad things happen.
Right.
Football is just a microcosm of life.
Right.
Right? We've all ended up here because there's been adversities, there's been setbacks, and somehow we persevered through. That's what it's about. In a team sport, sometimes the other guys ain't gonna do what the hell you want them to do.
let me ask you a quick question. Go ahead. Go.
I think he's just he's a tragic sports character.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what he is. Like, I love golf. It's my favorite sport to watch. Phil Mickelson's one of the greatest players ever. He was never good enough because he played in the era of Tiger.
Right.
Like we're saying Josh isn't getting it done because of Josh not getting it done or Patrick.
He also plays for a franchise that has this history of these horrible losses. They made 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. They were so close on the Norwood field goal that would have won it. And then there is an element of tragedy about a team that has never won the Super Bowl and has been so close.
But I don't remember everybody coming to work and caping for Jim Kelly.
I would think 7.
Well, I mean, and Jim Kelly is in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
and Josh Allen will be in the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah,
they just go put him in a different wing from Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
If I was a betting man,
hey, the race ain't over.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
saying
if I was
that
a betting man, I would bet a lot of money.
is not over.
I think he's going to win one.
Yeah.
Like that is in no way something that I would debate. That I don't believe Josh Allen is good enough,
arguably
is
the
a good enough
greatest
quarterback
era
to win one.
in the quarterback's history.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable how many great quarterbacks are in the league today.